俺は。
立ってばよはージャツをゲレイだーそうWelcome to another video from Cardboard East. My name's Jay. I play board games from Asia and share what I find with all of you. Today, we're going to talk about something near and dear to my heart. Anime. Now, in the last few weeks, I have been playing Jisogi, and it has become probably the best game about anime that I've ever played. And I've played close to 1,000 games from Asia, all across Asia. None of them have the art that is inside this box. None of them understand anime the way this game does, and I can't wait to share this game with you. But first, a word from our sponsors. If you want to join Team Awesome and help sponsor one of these Cardboard East videos, please consider joining our Patreon, where you can participate in a monthly raffle for free games, as well as see weekly vlog videos. And with that, let's dive into the game. Yosh! Welcome to Jisogi, anime studio Tycoon. After years of surviving on the edge, one of Japan's biggest anime mega studios finally went under. Bad management, tough work, who knows, but everyone's being laid off. New idea is that there'll be fresh management with new studios and new managers for these smaller studios to pump out new anime. Will you rescue this vital cultural industry? Dun, dun, dun. Welcome to Jisogi, and welcome to Spirit Animation, one of the last 4 animation studios. Now, this is your player board. I'm going to begin here to give you a brief idea of what the game entails. The game will be played over 3 phases, each round, multiple rounds. Each round will have 3 phases. First is production, then release, and then upkeep. So basically what you'll be doing are be getting these script parts here and putting them into storage, a maximum 5, and then you can be placing them eventually into production. If you're placing them here, you'll need a setting, you need a plot, and you'll need a twist. And they'll fit nice and snugly here, and eventually you'll need to get art for the anime, so that way it's looking much better. Eventually you'll be able to get a merchandise deal here to increase your revenue and income. You might get more money. And then you're releasing anime, so that way you can get points. And points are dictated here. So here are your 0 through 9, and then these are the 10s and 20s. Now, if up here are your starting staff members, you'll be taking these discs and putting them on top. And eventually you might have more staff members that may join. So for example, you might hire this person here, and then they'll get another action disc on top. This is your nice little player aid to kind of tell you how to play the game. And with that, well, let's go ahead and begin. Phase 1, production. Production is worker placement, so it's very, very simple. Now, you have different types of workers up here. You have a blue writer, a green artist, a red producer, and a purple director. And you can be taking the relative action discs and then placing them on the main board. And this is your main board here. And you can see that they're blue, red, and green, and black. And you'll be taking the disc and placing them on here and then taking that action. Now, while this can be a little bit hard to read from a distance, we're going to go ahead and look at our player aid, and then I'm going to go through all these actions here explaining everything that you can do. Now, the first thing you'll notice that there are blue actions, green, red actions, and a black action. And they do work with your workers. So only a blue worker can go to take these blue actions. Only the green worker can take the green actions. Only your red producer can take these red actions. Your purple director can take all these actions. And this last black action here, strategize, well, anyone can go there. So there are a few restrictions on where your workers can go. And with that in mind, let's go ahead and look at all of these. Now, you may notice that right here has these actions here, and there's this little red box, and all the actions have this red box here. And that's because when you go there with a dead inside worker, as you begin with, all the dead inside workers, they'll only be able to get this left side. Once you go there with an upgraded worker, well, then they'll get everything here on the left, as well as everything that's in these red boxes as well. And with that, let's go straight to write and research. Now, if you look closely, you'll see this eyeball that says reveal 1 or reveal 3. take 2 script parts, take 1 script part. So you can either reveal 1 and take a lot, or reveal many and just take 1. So what does that mean? Well, to that, we're going to go to the storyboards. Now, somewhere on the table, you'll see all of these. You'll see your settings, your plots, and your twists. And you put them together to form one cohesive story. Ta-da! Now, before you do that, though, you'll take your write and research action. So write just means you'll reveal 1 of these, and then you'll take 2. And you could take any 2. So maybe I'll take these 2. Research will have you reveal 3, and you could reveal any way you want. You could reveal maybe 2 plots, and then maybe 1 twist. So reveal 3, take 1, and I'm going to take this plot here. Now, whatever you take, be it or how many you take, it's always going to go here in storage. This is in production, and this is storage. And you can see here that you could have different parts and different things in your storage, but at most you could ever hold is 5. Now you're asking me, Jay, when can I take these and put them into production? Well, anytime you want. When you want to do that? Well, we'll get into that in just a little bit. Next up, animate. Animate here, you just get art. So by placing your disc from your green worker, the artist, onto the board with the green, ta-da, you'll get art. Now, art is pretty simple. You'll just take art here and then place it here on the bottom, be it 1 or 2. However, you cannot put art here unless an anime is in production, meaning that there's nothing to draw, then you can't draw anything. So eventually you'll have something into production, such as this. And then once all 3 script pieces are here in production, well then now you could add art. Outsource. This is how you get money. So a regular person will get $4 and an advanced person will get $8. And I can't stress how important money is in this game. So this is really, really, really important. So maybe we send our director there to go get us money and they come back with $4. Next up, staffing. Now, when you go to staffing, you'll pay $2 and then you'll have these 2 choices. The star means that you could hire a new worker, or you can ghost tag up arrow, which means you can promote a previous worker. Also, if you go there with an advanced worker, well, then you'll get 3 hype. What's hype? Hype is essentially marketing. You'll just take some hype tokens and then place them on your board here. But on to hiring. So here you can see my dead inside workers, and up here you can see the Genki staff. Genki just means like good or energetic or just willing to get it done. And these are the staffs that will appear every round that'll be available for hire. So you have 1 or 2 choices. You can simply just hire someone else, in which case you'll just take someone and then add them to your staff, like so. You won't put an action token on them, but at the beginning of the next round, you can take an action token and put it on top, and then you'll be able to use them later on in the game. But if you just simply hire, they'll just simply appear like this without an action token, so you can't use them this round. Or you can promote. Like you promote someone, meaning that you give them such an inspirational talk that they just become super powered and they reach Super Saiyan mode. So let's say I took the action with my dead inside producer, and then now I want to hire someone. Well, I can only promote someone to the same color. So this director can't become an artist, can't become a writer, he can't become a producer. He's kind of pigeonholed in what he can do, but he can become an even better director. So in which case you'll just simply place this on top, or you could discard the card altogether and then place that action token there, meaning that you can use them this round. Now, if you do promote someone that you've already used, so let's say I promote this person, well, I already used my dead inside writer, so I can't use my new upgraded artist this round. I'll have to wait till next round, in which case everyone gets their tokens back. And that is staffing. Now, I do want to mention that even though you can hire multiple people or promote more people, you're limited to 6 tokens, meaning that each round at most you could take 6 actions. So you want to be efficient with your hires. Next up is networking, and that'll allow you to get 2 cards, either red or blue, and if you're advanced, you get even more hype. Yay! So here are the 2 decks you could draw, red or blue here. Let's go ahead and start with blue. Now, if you look at blue here, you can see these cards, they all have something up here, and that's right. So that means that when you take the right action in a future turn, well, then you could play this card and get these benefits. Draw. If you take the draw action, which is the same as animate, then you can activate this as well. So all of these are labeled when you can play them. So when you strategize, you take this action, then you can activate this ability as well. I can't stress enough how powerful these cards are and how useful they are to jumpstarting your engine. But they're not as important as these red opportunity cards. Now, these will come into play later, but if you notice here, they're all in release, which is the second phase of the game. So we'll go ahead and talk about these when we get to release. Now we're going to still finish up production. The last action you could do is strategize. You get +1 leverage and +1 red card. Well, what does leverage mean? By placing your disc on the strategize location, you can draw 1 red card and gain 1 leverage, and all of these are leverages. What you're going to do though is you're going to take one of these lock tokens, place it over one of these 4, and then you'll take that action. Now, no one else will be able to take that for the rest of the round. So what are these actions? Well, they're simple. You go first next round, you get the first player token and $3. Spend $1 and then promote a staff worker. Now, this is pretty special because if you remember here on staffing, it takes $2, whereas this leverage, it's just 1. Here, you can spend $1 and get a merchandise deal. Merchandise deals go here, just like so. Now, you can get a merchandise deal. You'll place them here. Later on, you'll be able to place them there as soon as you have an anime that's been released. This is currently in production, but once it's released, then I can have a merchandise deal. I can never have more merch than I have anime. So if I have 2 anime released, at most I could have 2 merch deals. Moving on is that you'll get hype. Hype is really important. It's essentially marketing and it's a very flexible resource, but you'll get 1 hype per star staff, meaning for every upgraded staff member you have, or right now I have 2, then I'll get 1 per staff member. So in this case, I would get 2. Now over here, you'll see a high demand fee. This can be a little complicated to look at, and I think they're going to redo this for something a little bit cleaner, but let's go ahead and explain what that means. Now, this is a worker placement game, so whenever you want to go somewhere, you have to place your worker on that location. Now, the first one is free, but the other ones going in there might cost more. So if we were playing a 3-player game, well, then the second person to go in there, they would have to spend $1 to take that action. A third place in there, Gary, would have to spend $2 to take that action, and then so on and so forth. And this will change the cost depending on the player count. So you could take more actions that you want. You could take the same action again and again and again, but it's going to cost you more and more and more. Phase 2, release. Now, when you release an anime, you have to pay attention to the trend cards. And there are lots of trend cards in the game. All of them have exquisite art, except for these. These are upcoming, under development. But they are all unique, each and every single one of them. Absolutely breathtaking to look at. And there's quite some humor here for you to enjoy. And I'll share some of these with you later. But there will always be 3 face up. This will be the upcoming trend, this is the active trend, and this is the fading trend. It's the fading trend because at the end of the round, this will go away, these will slide over, and then a new trend will appear. So now cyber horror is in, and Ultimate Fighter anime is out. But what's more important about these trends is down below here. These are the types of script parts you will need to create an anime in this trend. So let's take Witch School, for example. When you release an anime, you're going to do it in player order, and then you're going to say out loud which trend you're going to focus on. So let's say I'm going to focus on Witch School. I'm going to release Witch School anime, and for now, we're going to go back to my player board. So here's my anime in production. You can see that it is a big city corporation, and the plot is a cosmic threat, and only they can stop it. Only your school, your witch school, can stop it. And the twist is that a magical companions will help out. Yay! Well, that seems like a fun little movie here. It really does. You're going to look at your script parts. So I have purple, green, green, and this is purple, green, green. You'll see how many match. In this case, I have 3. Now, they don't all have to match. So instead of a big city corporation, it could be a post-apocalyptic witch school, which is fine. So then I'll take how many matches? 2. So they're in there, so 2, and I'll multiply that by my art. So 2 times 2 is 4. Now, I currently have 4 popularity. If I am the first person to release this trend, well, then I'll also gain 4 bonus points. You keep track of that by these little tokens here, and you'll just place this here, denoting that no one else can get that 4-point bonus. So I have 4, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 4, now I have 8. Now there are other ways for me to increase that popularity value, should I say. I could do it through my staff. So if you notice here, I have a toy lover. She's going to give me 2 more, so that'll be at 10. And my pretentious references director, well, he's going to give me 3 because it matches. So now I'll have 10, 13, 13 popularity. But I could also spend a hype. So 1 hype per 2. So I have 13, I spend 1 hype, and now I have 15. 15 popularity. I'll look here on the back of my player aid and you'll see this release reward thing. So how popular it is, I'll get that many coins and I'll get that many points. So I was at 15, so I'll get $6 and I'll get 3 points. So I'll simply increase this by 3 points and I'll get $6. And because I have released this anime, I'll take this, place it over here on the side of my board. And because now I have 1 anime, I can have 1 merch deal. So this automatically pops down here. Ta-da! Now I did almost forget about these release cards. These opportunity cards here, if you have them in hand, they say release. If you're able to get this, then you'll get this in addition when you release your anime. And these count as a little bonus here. So release 2 anime, you can never only release 1 at a time. So if this were my second anime that I released, well then I'll also get points per anime released. And I'll simply take this card and I'll place it on the bottom of the main player board. So if you see your main board here, you go all the way to the bottom, you see that 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are opportunity cards. So once 4 are placed here, well then that's the end of the game, and it'll finish that round, and then whoever has the most points wins the game. But before we get to that, let's talk about the last phase of the game, upkeep. Now we talked about all the actions here in the production phase. We talked about the release phase and how you calculate your popularity score. This is your hype exchange rate, so hype is really important. You can spend 3 hype for 1 merch deal. You can spend 1 hype for $1, and you can spend 1 hype for 2 extra hearts when you release an anime here. Now we're going to do the upkeep phase, and a lot happens here, so we're going to go through it one by one. The first thing that's going to happen is that, well, if you have a character card that gets an upkeep bonus, and they all have different bonuses here, so you can see my hard negotiator here gets a bonus when he takes a staffing and network action. My toy lover, as I mentioned before, well, she gives me bonuses when I do a release action here. But some of them might have an upkeep bonus, in which case you'll just get it now, and it's typically money or saving money. Then you'll go to your merchandise deals. Every merch deal will give you 4 points, or $4, I should say, and you get your $4 there. Then you're going to raise interest. Oh, what's an interest? Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, there's debt. Let's talk about debt. For every debt card you have at the end of the game, you will lose 2 points. When you pay it back, you'll get $8. You'll have to pay $8 or the 7 that you were given, and then there's interest. After you get your money from your merch deal, you'll take any debt card that you have, and you'll take $1 from the supply and place it on here, meaning that now you'll have to spend $9 to cancel out this debt. So your debt interest will increase over time. Next, you're going to have to pay salaries. Well, it's your regular dead inside employees will just pay $1, but now I have upgraded all my characters, so now I'll have to spend $2 per each of them. So that's $8 gone, and all that money is gone. Now, some of you might be asking, Jay, you had that debt card. When can you pay your debt? Well, you can pay it at any time. So right before the interest goes up, maybe I spend another $8 to pay that off so the interest doesn't go up. I spent all this money here, it goes away, and now I just have $1 going into the next round. But I am debt-free. Now, after that, it's simply a matter of, well, just putting your discs back, getting any discs back that you have, recovering your action tokens. Any lock tokens that are here on the leverage action, well, they all come off. Your staffing card pool, where you'll have when you had 4 characters at the beginning of every round, well, those will all go away to the discard pile, and then you'll just draw 4 more, and those will be the characters or the staff that'll be able to hire next round. And with that, you're ready to begin the next round. So it's production, release, upkeep. And you're going to keep going this again and again and again until there are 4 opportunity cards there. Now, once you place a opportunity card, someone else can score it and they could flip it over, in which case no one else can. So each opportunity card that's placed down can only be scored twice. But remember that once 4 are played total, whether it be face up or face down, signals the end of the round. You still have to pay your staff, so be mindful of that because you might have to take debt just to pay your staff because it's incredibly difficult to fire people in Japan. And after that, whoever has the most points wins Jisogi. Disclaimer! Now, before we begin and dive into my thoughts and impressions on this game, please remember that this is a prototype and is still very much under development, meaning that some of the mechanics are still being fine-tuned and being edited by the designer. And so what you see here won't be the final product. In fact, even some of the trend cards have a linen finish on them, and the publisher had told me that the linen finish was the wrong one because it kind of messed with the artwork, and they're trying to find a right linen finish. That way the cards can shine better and be more presentable, even though I think what's in here is already fantastic. This impressions part is going to be divided into 3 segments: what I am concerned about, what I love, and ending with my final thoughts. So let's go ahead and rip off the band-aid with things that I am concerned about. Number 1, right now I'm concerned about the end game trigger. The main end game trigger are the 4 opportunity cards. And while I do like player-controlled endings, I think that you really need to keep in mind that there also needs to be a hard end to the game. That way the game can't go on forever, which is one of the reasons why I'm not the biggest fan of Anno 1800. And the reason is that because you cannot underestimate how badly people will play your game, and therefore the game could last a little bit longer than I want. Something around the lines of having just someone creates their 4th anime, and that's it. That's where the game ends. Also, the opportunity cards, I'm not too entirely sold on the math or the incentive to do so. So if you have no incentive to play your opportunity cards, then no one can play the 4th opportunity card, and therefore the game just won't end. Also, currently the math, I think, on the opportunity cards needs a little bit of tweaking because sometimes I'm feeling, okay, well, I might have 4 points for my anime that I'm about to release, and then I do all this work for 2 extra points on my anime, and it seems I don't feel the incentive for me to play those opportunity cards and score them and get extra points. Number 2, the script parts. I feel like there aren't enough. I think there should be 15 more, like 60, like 5 more of the settings, of the plots, and the twists. Just 5 more to add a little bit more flexibility, because once you get to the 3rd or 4th anime, it's slim pickings there in the pools, and it's really hard to get what you want. One nitpick that I have about the script parts is that the settings and the twists are the exact same shape. And I understand that there are tooling costs, and with each unique shape, it becomes more expensive for the game. But I kind of wished that the little edge on the part that sticks out for the Tetris piece for the setting and twist were different shapes. That way it's really easy to not get them confused. Number 3 is the power creep of the game. Now, as you're the first few rounds, it's really difficult. You're really struggling just to get the first or even the second film out the door. But usually around the 2nd or 3rd film, the game has progressed enough, you've hired enough staff that you can produce some banger animes, and you're scoring and maxing out the points. Now, I do think that the points end at 5 points. You get to 25 ranks popularity, and then you get 5 points. But if you get 30 or 35 or potentially even 40, you're still maxing out at 5. And I feel that it should continue to go up. Like there should be anime for more points for like 20, 30, for 35, and for 40, and moving on. I think maybe 45 is where you want to cap it. Why do you get that high? Well, because hype is really, really strong. And I feel that it might be a little bit too strong because there are times in the game where you can get like 10, 15, 20 hype, and then you're just spending all this marketing onto your anime. And I feel that that still needs a little bit of tweaking. Number 4, debt. Now, debt is really powerful and painful in this game. In fact, there's even an advanced mode that I have played where everyone begins with debt, which feels very thematic, I think. And I played that way. But either if you play the normal or the advanced, starting with debt, it's not that much of a problem towards the end of the game. And I've never seen anyone have issues with debt like later in the last half of the game. There's definitely in the beginning and the middle of the game, but towards the end, once you have that machine rolling, your engine built, you're not going to have an issue with it. So I feel that you also have so many debt cards. There's like 5 for each player, and I've never seen a player go to 5. The most I've seen is 2. Because once you get 2, you definitely want to get rid of them. Number 5, that's the rule book. Now, you can read the rule book from cover to cover, and you can understand the game. But the way the rule book is structured currently it's a little painful to read, and it's really difficult to read. So, for example, there are 3 phases. There's production, release, and upkeep. But in the rule book, I learned upkeep before release. Why? Why can't you just teach the rule book the way that it's structured chronologically? Oh, this production phase, these are all the actions you could take. Let's talk about all those actions you could take. Okay, release, this is everything that happens during release. Let's talk about that. Upkeep, this is everything that happens at upkeep. And part of this is because there's this old school style philosophy of, like, especially that leans from war game times, where you will front load core mechanics of the game, like right up front. Now, here are the components, and here are the core mechanics. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I understand why people do that, but I personally struggle with that, because if I don't know the general flow of the story arc of the game, I can't tie that key mechanic to anything. And I have no idea what's going on, and it just doesn't make sense to me. But that being said, it's just the order of the rulebook that I have a problem with. Everything that's written, I could perfectly understand. Very, very clear. It's just in this weird web mix, and it's very confusing. But number 6, probably the most important issue that I have with the game is that the box, while beautiful, and I understand what they were going for, this is a desk of someone who's working, and you see there's their statue, there's artwork, there's a cup of coffee, there's a business card, there are glasses, pens, there's a cup, and even down here you can see like the shelves and the drawers. Like, I understand how thematic that is, but this cover is very underwhelming. Like, it's not really drawn me into the game. If I walked into a store and I saw this cover, I would not be incentivized to pull that off the shelf. I would not even look at it. It's just, I don't know, like, nothing about it screams to me, hey, there's some really cool stuff. And I feel that it's underselling what's inside this game, because what's in this game, wow. Now, that was just the Band-Aid. And keep in mind that this, again, is a prototype. So maybe some of the things that I'm saying are a little bit unfair, but this is what my impressions were initially with the game and its current state. What I love! Now, I love this game. And I just spent all this time ripping off a Band-Aid, saying the things that have issues and things that I'm concerned about, but it could still be fixed. But I love so much about this game. Now, the one thing I love about, first and foremost, is that the publisher realizes all those things that I mentioned and is working really hard to fix them and patch them and make it nice, clean, and smooth. So that I'm like super happy about. Number 2 is the art and production of this game. Oh my God! I mean, it is gorgeous. I played close to 1,000 games from all across Asia, and this has the best art I've seen out of all of them. Now, there are different ways that you can utilize art, but just the anime art itself, it's just gorgeous. When I had a lot of games to review, and the publisher reached out and was like, hey, would you like to do a preview for this game? I was like, I don't know, my schedule's really full. Then I kind of looked at the game, or looked at the art, and I'm like, whoa, yes, please. And I'm so glad I did, and I'm so glad that I powered through that rulebook, because what's in here is absolutely gorgeous. But it's more than just gorgeous. I mean, look at all the trend cards in the game. All of them are unique. You need artwork on all those cards. And there is humor in those cards. There's a lot of humor that really understands the enemy. Let's look at a few together. Ultimate Fighter. In his quest to develop martial prowess, every single culture in the world is going to be massively stereotyped. Witch School. The ultimate challenge. Mastering magic or discovering true friendship. Spirit School. Join the weirdest weirdos as they fight evil spirits out to snack on our souls. Reality drama. Set in a contemporary world. Join a cast of relatable characters as they live a joyful life and never worry about paying bills. Period drama. We might be romanticizing truly awfully violent times, but who cares? Look at those gorgeous outfits. Cyber horror, a cautionary tale about the future of technology that'll make us not want to live that long. Just all these trend cards are just hilarious to discover on your own. I don't want to go and share all of them, but they're just so good. And not just the trend cards, but also the character cards themselves. Each character card is unique. There is unique artwork that is fantastic on each and every single card. Each of them has this hilarious look to them and brings humor and self-awareness of the genre. The fact that you have these all-star or these Genki characters that are just really, really good staff that replace your dead inside, literally labeled dead inside staff, is absolutely hilarious. There are countless character cards for you to discover on your own as you play this game, but I definitely just want to highlight a few because, wow. Meet the social butterfly producer. When she takes a staff in a network action, she gets a script and a hype because she just knows people. This is your weird angle director, which just really says it all, just looking at that photo. It's just absolutely hilarious. Meet the hard negotiator producer who is smoking forever. Even his smoke apparently has text. But what's so fascinating is that his staffing and network action doesn't trigger overpay, and you get $2. So it's almost as if you're paying him. I'm not going to pay you for this job. Look, this is your dream job. You should be paying me. You could just live your life in some boring office job, or you could work in anime. You should pay me for this opportunity. Alien lover. This writer just cosplays with a cat, and it's adorable. Just look at it. Look at that cat. He zoomed into the cat's face because it's just that adorable. A bit of everything producer. Yes, she's terrifying with multiple arms, but she's getting things done, and we all know someone like this in our office. And that is just a taste of the things that await you in this game. Now, the script parts, I didn't even get to the script parts. The script parts are so approachable and relatable. Even if you don't watch anime, you've certainly watched movies and films, and all of these kind of relate to that and just all share that same type of humor. And here are some of the funny movies or anime that I've made in my time playing this game. Welcome to the magical space colony of the future. You need a crew for the journey to find a lost civilization's treasure. But wait, bounty hunters are hot on your pursuit. Ba-ba-ba! In a steampunk society, an extraordinary business opportunity, but is morally ambiguous, appears to our main character. But secretly they befriended an alien. Dun, dun, dun. Next, on the high school drama, the whole school is trapped inside a cruel survival game. But little do they know that Billy has been training for many years as a martial artist. In this zombie apocalypse, your main protagonist is possessed by a powerful spirit and must learn to control it, only to discover that the spirit is on a much-needed journey of self-discovery and healing. La 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 la. And that's just a taste of some of what awaits you in here. All of these are super excited, and it's hard not to role play into this when you're playing the game and just shout off the rooftops of the movie that you're creating and sharing with everyone. And it really captures the essence of like anime and the spirit and the joyfulness and the playfulness of being a fan. The fourth thing I love about this game is the super tight gameplay. The first few rounds are extremely difficult. It is exponentially tight. Where you're going and how you're going, it's getting kind of painful. And turn order is incredibly important, especially when you release anime, because you're going to be the first one to get that 4-point bonus, and you're definitely going to need that. Also, you'll be the first one to get new characters and staff that are up for hire, the first one to get script release parts. If you're at the tail end of the round, last place, like you can feel those. So that's something that I think is really enjoyable about this game and the aspect of that. I really enjoy that you have all these workers and staff. Yeah, they're dead inside. You want to upgrade them. But I love that each person that you have is limited as to where they go. So when you hire staff, you have to think, well, what do I want more? Do I want more of the purple, like a director who can go anywhere? Do I want a writer so I can focus on getting the pieces that I need, as well as all their bonuses? What's popular and what's trending is really going to affect who you hire. And certain characters can really boost your engine and really get you going and save you incredibly. And just that journey of just like seeing everything that comes out is really, really nice. Now, I do admit that there is a house rule that I've played with. I have played by the original rules, but I like this house rule I have, and that is when you release the new characters that are going to be available for that round, no more than 2 of one color. I think I've played games where it's just all, for some weird reason, it's just like they're all purple, and then like, oh, okay, or they're all red, or they're all gray, and that can be a little wonky and it's a little bit hard. Sometimes when you play that way, it's a little bit harder. But I think most of the groups that we played with, when we played the house rule of no more than 2 of one color, everyone seems to like that a lot more. I like that a lot more as well. Number 5 is this game is just so thematic. You really feel, just from the writers getting ideas and researching, seeing what's popular and creating an anime, having an artist create art for the anime. It's really difficult. Like you really feel that. Just going there with a Densai artist, he just gives you 1. And even like an all-star, some Genki character who goes in, gives you 2, like it's not enough. Like you need to spend a lot of time developing that art so you can get a banger. And then there's also the marketing, how you can just market a game and just say this mediocre game to be something great. Or you can get a really cool merchandise deal, and that just gives you income because you could have a nice cult following. Like there's just so much in this game that's just so thematic, that just feels so much fun. And seeing the trends change, and like you're trying to grab some script parts, trying to predict what's okay. There's been a lot of like fairy tale trends. Maybe something then that sci-fi is going to come up next. Maybe some horror is going to come up next, and you're just trying to predict what's going to happen in those trends. And it's just so thematic, and it's so self-aware with the humor on all the cards. Final thoughts. Well, not final, because I'm still going to be playing this game. I absolutely adore this game, warts and all. This is a love letter to anime and to anime fans. This was play tested by fans of anime. This was play tested by people who work in the industry of anime. And this is made by people who love anime, for people who love anime, and are going to get all the little humor that's hidden in all the little wrinkles and all the little cards. Just everything about this game, I just adore so much. It just having this extra hobby that you have, and having another hobby that comes in and celebrates it, it just always feels so great. And the artwork on here, it's just phenomenal. Like every time I've opened up this game to show to people to play, there's a few minutes where people are just flipping through the cards going, this is just gorgeous, this is gorgeous. And people taking out their phones and taking pictures of the art. Like there aren't many games that evoke that kind of emotion. When I first opened this game, like I went right past the rules looked at the cards, and I spent maybe 30 minutes just looking at all the cards and just drinking it all in because it's just breathtaking to look at. And then once you get past the art and you see the humor that's there, it's like your best friend made this game for you. And it's just like you know those animes with this little quirk and this little quirk and this stereotype happen, and this is all making fun of it and all doing it in the right way at the right time. And it's just so comforting to see and play this game, and I absolutely adore it. It's usually I begin my initial thoughts with vibes about like how I feel about the game. And you know what the vibe is for this? It feels like the first time you saw Deadpool, you know, because it's like you see Green Lantern the movie and you're like, wow, that did a terrible job with the source material. And then you see Deadpool and you're like, that took a fantastic job with the source material, and it really understood that character. That's what this feels like. It feels like we've watched and played through a lot of board games that were hits or misses, where it felt like, yeah, I really love anime, I really like board games. There's got to be something here. And some things come close. Some things are really good for like that one particular anime or that one particular genre. But nothing really captures it all like Jisogi does. And for that alone, I can't help but to recommend this game. Another way I could put this for vibes is that it's like you watched Cowboy Bebop, you watched Trigun, and then someone shows you Tainted Donuts, and you're like, whoa, how is this a thing? And you get to realize that someone out there appreciates what you appreciate on the level that you do, and was able to produce this, and it's like a warm blanket. It's like a friend there at the table waiting for you to explore and play with. Every single person that I've played with, they all love the game. They love the artwork. They love how the mechanics work. Some of them admit, like, yeah, there are a few wrinkles here, but those can be easily smoothed out. And all of them are excited to back this game. And it's just seeing that look and expressions of everyone who plays this game, people who like anime, and even people who didn't like anime, but can relate to it through like film and TV shows. Like, you really get a feel of the game, and you could still appreciate the humor. And I don't know what else to say, except this is Tainted Donuts, the board game. This is taking everything you love about anime and putting it together in a different package. Once again, my name's Jay. I play board games from Asia and share what I find with all of you. I'll see you in the next episode, Space Cowboy. Bang.